Now, man, before I make these videos, I should really make a script or something like that, because I've redone this video so many fucking times. So, dudes, my name's Victor, and this right here is the Sagara Gear Battle Wagon belt. This video is sponsored by Sagara Gear. I've been wearing their belts ever since they were Alonzo Defense. Ever since Grand Thumb came out with that video with the Emissary belt, I've been wearing their belts, both the EDC, the inner outer belts, ever since they were fucking made. You know what I mean? I helped in the process of making this belt. Went through a lot of different iterations, but now right here is the belt setup that I've used on many training events, many range days, and a whole army deployment. And I just wanted to talk about it with you, show you guys a video, so that way, if you're ever on Instagram, you DM me, hey, what's your belt setup? Here you go. So, starting off, I have my buckle offset to the side here. And the reason being is so that way I can use this 12 o'clock space right here for a tourniquet pouch. Plus, there is not a Velcro that adheres to this front portion right here. So I use that to help adhere the front to my inner belt. That way I have full coverage around my waist. So starting off, the front pouch is the Soy Leader BMTH, or the belt mounted tourniquet holder. As you can tell, it's really fucking faded because it probably should be replaced, man, but I love it. It's still rocking and rolling. Carries my cat tourniquet right here. Nothing too crazy. I had to replace the cat tourniquet because that last one I had has been through a whole deployment and many low crawls. So I'm like, I should probably change that one up. Here I have the S-Tac Kaiwi mag pouches. This is the 40 degree and this is the 70 degree. And I have them basically one wrapped around. You can tell in the video right there. And I like these pouches because, one, they can carry different pistol magazines other than Glock. You know, M17 mags, staccato mags, fucking any mag, dude. Any mag that's the double stack variant, you're good to fucking go, man. I have them angled because, one, it's easier to reload because it's a more natural position for my wrist. It's more straight. And two, because when you're wearing, say you're wearing like a full coverage BALCS fucking, basically an IOTV rig where it covers the entirety of the body, right? Like you're a police officer or something like that. The angled mags will allow it to where it doesn't jab up into your body when you're standing. And two, it won't get in the way. And two, if you're driving, you know what I mean? If you're in a vehicle a lot and you're wearing, the same style plate carrier, or maybe even a slick plate carrier, the ones that angle upwards, especially with extended magazines, they'll tend to push up into your stomach or onto the bottom of the plate. So I find that the angled mag pouches are just way beneficial. Takes up a little bit more molly room, so if you need that space for like a taser or something, you may want to just use one or two. You know what I mean? I use two because I don't carry a taser, but one would suffice for the front if you need that, okay? Moving on here, I have a HSDI taco pouch with a little pistol add-on, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Carries a rifle mag, carries AK mags, carries 308 mags. Again, general purpose mindset. This can carry a multitude of different mags, and it's at my waist, so it's perfectly fine. I have the pistol extra if I wanted to carry an extra pistol mag, or for me, I carried a flashlight, so that way I can pull up from my left side, and if I need to draw my handgun, we're good to go. You get what I'm saying? Moving on, I have the Spirit of Systems Gista pouch, and this pouch right here carries a rifle insert and a pistol insert. Here it has a rifle mag as well as a pistol insert for a multi-tool for most of the time. That's where I carry my multi-tool, so that way, always have a multi-tool. But it also carries a lot of my admin equipment, note-taking stuff, pens, notebook, protractor, compass, what else? Extra batteries for sure, and other odds and ends. Kind of like a dump pouch in a sense, but we'll go on to why I have the Gista on there really specifically later. Here, Amazon Special IFAC, meant to mimic the LBT. I like it because it's flat and carries a whole UCP. The old UCP IFACs, whole army IFAC in here. And I like that because it carries a lot more stuff than the new IFACs does. It's a lot flatter, so that way if I'm sitting in a vehicle, it won't push my back up too bad. You'll still feel it, but I didn't spend a lot of time in vehicles, so it was totally fine having it right in my back. Here, Amazon Special water bottle pouch. I carried a water bottle or my radio there. And again, double mindset here. Lastly, Doesn't matter the holster. This one is a Kerber Arms holster. Great holster, super sick, super fast. But the Safari Lane QLS is what's most important because it allows me to change out different types of handguns based off of what guns I want to shoot that day. So I think that's really sick. So let me just get this out of the way real quick. So I'm gonna burp. So the mindset behind this belt is really that it's a very general purpose setup. If you watched my plate carrier videos before, you know that I love to have plate carriers or pouches that are multi-purpose unless they have a specific use. Like, obviously I'm not going to use an IFAK for anything else but an IFAK, right? But the HSGI taco pouch, I use that to carry my radio, and the water bottle pouch, I use that to carry a second radio to check second comms instead of having to switch between 1 and 2 and lose, contact on the other. But again, the Kaiwi pouches, I can carry a different multitude of mags for different handguns. And the Gista pouch is what really sold the entirety of the belt for me. Throughout my entire deployment, I served in a more of in a sergeant's role. Obviously I was a sergeant, but I served in more of a leadership role. And during the times right there, I wasn't really wearing my plate carrier as much as I should have, but we were doing a lot more admin-oriented things, So for me, the belt never really came off my body, but the plate carrier did, whether it was working on generators, working outside, fucking digging sandbags, you know what I mean, pulling shit out of fucking destroyed little goddamn fighting positions. The belt never came off my body, and that is simply because I treated my belt as my first line gear. If I had a rifle, or when I had a rifle, I would have my rifle and my pistol, and that carried 90 rounds with 2 on the belt. With my pistol, it was 63 rounds, one magazine in the gun, 2 on the belt. That's a lot of ammunition for a guy wearing just a belt, and that way I could fight to my kid if needed. And again, it wasn't that kind of deployment. It was not a fucking badass cool infantry deployment, and we were really just sitting around looking at sand. But it allowed me to showcase that my belt, not showcase really for the guys, but what I'm trying to show is that the belt is a very general purpose setup that allowed me to do multiple things without having to have extra pouches on my body. You know what I mean? Still, like you can talk about fighting loads and all that sort of stuff. For me and my role, that belt never came off my body, but the plate carrier did, whereas, on the Joe side, where those guys were on the ECP constantly, of course, their plate carriers never came off their bodies. You know what I mean? Driving in a MAT-V, plate carriers never came off their body. A belt may have not been as beneficial for them as it is for me. You know what I'm saying? For me, having a handgun was the primary weapon system of of my role at the time of the deployment. So for me, having a very set up belt was absolutely important. However, if I switched to a role that was more meant on in the field with the guys, I'd be able to stock up, put rifle mags in, grab my rifle, grab my kit, good to go. Help out the guys on shift if need be. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, that was really rambly. I'm so sorry. But all in all, that belt setup is set up to where I can perform in different situations, different roles, and utilize different weapon systems if the time calls for it. So for like a range day, if we're out there shooting with a bunch of guys and Hayden pulls up a fucking AK, I can put it in the HSGI taco pouch and I can practice some AK reloads. If a guy pulls up a CZ, a P10C right in front of my hands, I can practice reloads from my belt with that CZ in my hands. Does that all make sense? I hope it does. But yeah, that was my belt setup. Nothing too crazy. Sorry, it was a little bit of a rambly video. This is basically going to be all the videos when it comes to these sort of stuff, real conversation type shit. But yeah, man, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. That was my belt setup, and I hope you have a good day. Have fun and be safe.